Ideal Power is providing semiconductor technology for renewable energy. And with me is the CEO, Dan Brdar, to talk about latest development. I remember, Dan, last time we talked, you talked about you're working with the Navy, but that has been developed now. So bring us up to date on what you're doing with the Navy.
Sure. We have a semiconductor technology that's all about making power control and power switching more efficient. So, it really applies for solar power, wind power, electric vehicle charging, but can also be used to create new applications. And one of those is a solid state circuit breaker that's of interest to the Navy because they need circuit breakers that are very efficient and very fast acting. So we have a contract with the Navy where we're collaborating with a company called Diversified Technologies, who has circuit breaker design capability. And our semiconductor technology is at the heart of this circuit breaker, which is what's enabling this solid state circuit breaker to be demonstrated. And we shipped our first devices to them here just recently. So a big milestone for the company.
So what would Americans, like, how would they see that applied at the Navy? What would it
be? The Navy's moving to ship electrification, but solid state circuit breakers actually would be great for use in electric utilities. Utilities conventional application is a traditional electromechanical breaker. A solid state circuit breaker is orders of magnitude faster, and it's safer because it doesn't have electrical arcing and wear and maintenance that traditional breakers do.
And explain to me the technology, because I remember when we talked last time, it was very cool, and you're really doing something that I don't think anybody else is doing in terms of efficiency and speed. So explain the technology.
Yeah, semiconductors are used to control the flow of energy in a whole variety of applications. They're in your refrigerator, your washer and dryer. If you have solar in your house, they're in a power converter for solar. What our technology does is we actually process wafers on both sides instead of one side. So we make a device that is it's bidirectional, so it can control the flow of energy in either direction. And it does it in a way that has half the losses or even better of conventional semiconductor devices. So the application, whether it's your home solar system or your EV vehicle, gets a lot more useful energy. So electric vehicles can get longer range. You can get more kilowatt hours out of your solar system by using our technology as part of the power conversion process.
And of course, we just saw the president sign the CHIPS Act.
Yes.
How does that affect your business, and how does that affect the industry?
It affects us a lot. Most of the semiconductor technology and manufacturing has all moved offshore. I think we've all realized we're very vulnerable as a result of that, particularly with China controlling so much of that, and Taiwan, who's a great partner, being threatened by what's going on with China. We really need to bring that back to the U.S. So there's investment that's going to go on that we'll be able to take advantage of in terms of who we collaborate with to make our product. But there's also a technology component that is really targeted at bringing advanced state-of-the-art technology and semiconductors here for R&D and development. And that in particular is where I think there'll be some real opportunities for Ideal Power to participate.
Interesting. And how have you been affected by the chip shortage that we've seen this year?
Well, we haven't, since we're not in large volume yet. We're just bringing out our first products today. We've been lucky that we haven't been impacted, but the wafer fabricators that we work with, they're all struggling. They're having challenges with getting raw materials. They're having struggles with shipping things. So, that supply chain issue, I think, is still going to go on for quite some time. And unfortunately, what tends to happen is with supply chain issues, they tend to overreact. So we're going to go from a shortage to then there'll be an oversupply as we absorb all that. But that's just the nature of the way the industry works.
Well, and I think we all learned just how many things have computer chips in them that we use. It's almost everything.
Everything. Yeah. Everything we use every day is controlled by computers. Even devices that we may not even be aware have semiconductors inside them are all done to make them smarter and more controllable and more energy efficient.
Yeah. Okay. So Dan, finally explain a little bit about, where Ideal Power goes from here. Do you foresee more, relationships with armed forces, or where do you go?
Well, we're actually bringing out our first commercial products here a little bit later this year. They're in design right now based on what we have shipped to the Navy. But we see more opportunities to do things with the Navy. But more importantly, we are starting to collaborate with the automobile makers who want to look at our technology for electric vehicles. people that are doing EV charging, companies that are involved in, also making solid state circuit breakers for utility and industrial applications, people that are involved in renewable energy. So you're going to see a lot of commercial engagements from us as people evaluate the use of our technology to improve their own products that they're going to bring to the market.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like exciting times ahead for Ideal Power.
Very exciting. Yes.
Yeah. And congratulations on the shipment of the devices to the Navy.
Thank you. And thank you for having me back.
Thank you.